Welcome into the latest edition of the OKPreps Verbal Commit. I am Michael Knight, and I'm sitting down today with Owasso defensive lineman Haydon Grant. You see the TU helmet right here. He is committed to the University of Tulsa. But before we get into all of that, let's go back to last year. First year, Coach Blankenship takes over. You guys won the state championship going into last season as a junior. A lot of new faces, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Sure.
You guys still have a good year, make it to the semifinals. You push eventual champion Broken Arrow in the semis. How did last season go, not only for the team, but for you?
Well, last season was big for me. Last year was my show-out year that really got the attention that I needed for college, and it was just an amazing year because that was the first year that I truly started and made an impact for the team.
What was that experience like, going from a guy that didn't have a whole lot of experience to being on, the defensive line, the front seven of the defending champs?
It was a blessing, and I loved every minute of it. It was a lot more work than I first expected, but man, how I love it, and it's an awesome thing to be a part of.
Talk about the way you guys ended last year, because it was a bit of a slow start. Again, a lot of new faces. It's not easy to replace a guy like Josh Proctor.
No.
And a tough schedule as well. A little bit bumpy to start the year, but at the same time, you guys finished really strong. How can you carry that over into 2019?
Well, last year was all about how young we were, and we really just had to come together as a team and find who we were. And once we found it, we started playing like we could. And I think that showed in how we finished out the year against BA.
We talk about the recruiting process going into the off season. You mentioned how last year was pivotal to getting that attention from colleges. What was the moment where you realized, whether it was last year during the season, that you realized, or your coaches told you, or whatever it may be, that you had a legitimate shot to play college ball?
It was really right there towards the end. I was really starting to show out, make the big plays at the big times. It was just a big year for me and finding who I was as a football player.
Look, you look at the Owasso coaching staff, and there's plenty of college experience, not only playing, but coaching in college as well. Plenty of experience along that staff. So you have that to kind of guide you as far as, they know what to expect. They know how to help you with what to expect. How have they, helped you with, how to handle recruiting and college coaches and things like that?
Well, on the recruiting front, Coach B has been an amazing resource to let me know how I need to interact with the coaches, what I need to do to get their attention. But other than that, the rest of the coaching staff just really gets us right on how we need to play. And Coach Croft and Coach LeBass have increased my game tenfold.
Now, the relationship with Tulsa, when did it start? When did they finally extend that offer?
Well, they had kind of reached out to me during the season, but that was kind of the extent of it. And then I went to their camp that they invited me to, and I showed out there and I showed them what I could do. And ever since then, they've been talking to me a lot, and then they finally gave me that offer, and I decided it was the place for me.
What was that timeline like? At what point this year did they offer, and at what point did you say, that's where I want to be, it's close to home, that's where I want to play my college ball?
Well, I went to the camp, and they offered me about 2 weeks later after that, and that was the beginning of the summer. And I took the majority of the summer feeling it out and seeing how I liked it. Took a couple visits up to campus, and on my second visit to campus, I decided that was my place, and I told them.
There's plenty of other guys. Look, Tulsa obviously puts an importance on recruiting Oklahoma kids, especially here in the Tulsa metro area. What are your relationships like with the other Oklahoma kids who are committed in this 2020 class?
Well, we've had a few commits, and I know Cantu from Union, and we actually went to that camp together and competed against each other. And so we have that together, and it's been pretty good.
What's that relationship like? Because you're a defensive guy, he's an offensive guy. Late September, Union Owasso, big district game. I'm sure you guys are going to be going helmet to helmet, going to war against each other. But at the same time, that's going to be your boy next year.
Well, I think that we just have a mutual respect for each other because we know that we're both competitors and that we're at that level, but come time to play them, there's no holding back. It's going to be all out.
Now, let's talk about this season for Owasso. Last year, plenty of young guys. They're all coming back. Mm-hmm. That defense has the chance to be pretty special when you take a look at some of the guys who are coming back in the front seven and in the secondary. What has to happen for Owasso to get back to the championship game? Look, 6A1 right now, it seems pretty wide open. Mm-hmm. When you consider the Big Four in the Tulsa area. There's plenty of question marks, but there's plenty of talent coming back as well. What does Owasso have to do to get back to the title game?
Well, I feel like this offseason we've really put in the work. It was last year we struggled a little bit just because of our age, and we kind of matured as a team together. And so now our defense for sure is something to be messed with because we're there.
All right, so if I laid out the 2019 schedule in front of you and took Union off of the board and I said, what game are you looking forward to the most? Which one is it and why?
BA. I got to say BA. I want that win. They were our biggest competitor last year, and, man, do I want to beat them.
They're defending champs. They got you twice. There's plenty of incentive there for sure. Haydon, thank you for sitting down with me today. Congratulations on committing to TU, and good luck to you and the Rams this fall, all right?
Thank you.
He's Haydon Grant. I'm Michael Knight, and this has been another edition of the OKPreps Verbal Commit.